Hey there, my name is Shakillia. I won't really kill you though. And welcome to my podcast where people submit their questions as we explore topics around self discovery, mindfulness, productivity, and personal development. So, an introvert dating an extrovert. Can it work? I started dating an extrovert back when I had just graduated from high school. Let's call him Chris. Chris wasn't the tallest guy, but he was definitely taller than me. And he wore these black, square framed glasses, which I didn't mind. I apparently had a thing for guys who wore glasses. Probably the biggest thing that stood out to me about him was just how much he smiled. He had the most beautiful smile. We worked at the same grocery store, and he had always been the one to approach me first to start a conversation, something I wasn't used to. While I honestly saw no signs of it, I was really surprised when I was told by a mutual friend that Chris was interested in dating me. The next day, he asked me out, and within a month, we were officially a couple. But I would eventually learn the struggles that came with being in this relationship. You see, Chris was a very social person who hung out often with his friends. In fact, he deeply cherished his friendships just as much as he cherished his family. To him, they were family. So I often found myself spending time with him and his friends. At first, I didn't mind it at all, as we still had moments where we spent time together alone. But this became less likely as his circle of friends began to grow and my yearning for solitude alongside it. I remember one time we had a date set, and he ultimately had forgotten all about it and was in the middle of attending a birthday party his friend's girlfriend was having. We were both on the phone, and he apologized and said, "Why don't you come to the party?" I was so furious with him. I hung up on him and went home, heartbroken. Because in that moment, I felt like he no longer cared for me like he used to. He enjoyed spending time with his friends more than he enjoyed spending time with me. That was my thought process at the time. We eventually made up, and I struggled to become more outgoing. He told me that I needed to open up more and that if I just went out there and socialized with him, I might start to see a change in myself. So I did. And man, was the struggle real. When at gatherings, he would often go off to do his own thing, and I was sort of left to my own devices for a time, in which I would always find myself freaking out. He would check up on me every once in a while, and when this happened, the urge to cling to him like a baby koala to a tree branch was strong. But I persevered and continued to mingle. And then I literally became a hermit crab. I was still staying with my parents, and I stayed in my room a lot. I rarely left. I didn't want to go anywhere or do anything, even when he and I had a date planned. I was just so mentally drained, and this was before I had come to fully understand myself. I remember thinking, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just go out myself and enjoy myself? Why is this so hard? What I didn't realize was that by trying to fit into something, this ideal that clearly didn't work for me, I was inadvertently stressing myself out and losing my sense of self. Okay, so am I saying that the relationship between an introvert and an extrovert can't work? Absolutely not. Because as of today, almost 13 years later, I am happily married to this amazing, wonderful man whose name actually isn't Chris. And I honestly wouldn't trade him for anyone else in the world. It most definitely can work, but not without both parties taking the time out to communicate and bring into the relationship a healthy level of understanding and compromise. I realized that sitting around being angry wasn't going to solve anything. I needed to better understand my partner, and he needed to better understand me. So we sat down, and I tried my best to explain my needs to him. We ultimately came to a compromise. Nowadays, I don't go out to social gatherings as often with my husband like I used to, but every once in a while, I will get dressed and tag along. I just need time to mentally prepare for the gathering, at least a few days. I don't do spontaneous well, and he respects that. He knows he can't force me to be this social butterfly, and he still loves me. My husband will also make time to devote some days to just sitting at home with me and having a movie night where we pop some popcorn, grab some snacks, and watch some movies on Netflix. But I will still respect the fact that he needs to spend time around people. That is his way to recharge. So I let him, and I still love him. So here is my advice. My fellow introverts, please do not force yourself to be more outgoing in an attempt to please or keep up with your partner. You are unique and wonderful, just the way you are. And your partner should see that as well. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Growing up around media and all these Hollywood movies have really jaded people's expectations when it comes to their partner. Because in the movies, whenever the protagonist was upset about something or in some sort of bind, their knight in shining armor just seemed to automatically know exactly what to do and say or come at the exact right moment. But that's not the reality. It's a movie. And those people on screen are actors that are following a script. Your partner isn't a mind reader, and this isn't a movie. Your partner doesn't know, and if they don't know, how in the world can they set things right or work with you when they don't even know that there is a problem to begin with? Now they are sitting here confused while you're sitting there acting all passive aggressive, only to get even more upset when you find that your partner still doesn't seem to know why you're acting the way you are. You will be surprised how things can easily be settled if we get over our expectations, get over our own ego, and we just open our mouths. I had to learn that. And doing this has helped me out so much with my relationship. Extroverts want you to be direct. They hate it when you beat around the bush or act petty. Playing mind games won't get you anywhere, trust me. While your partner is away, do something fun or productive. Take on a hobby. Mine is obviously YouTube. But sitting there feeling sad that your partner isn't home with you right now and wallowing in all those negative thoughts aren't doing you any good. Channel that energy to a fun activity, and sometimes you'll find that the whole time your partner was gone, you've been having the time of your life. I mean, I don't know about you, but I personally love having the house to myself in these moments. Hope my husband doesn't see this, but I love you, babe. Truly, I do. But seriously, though, go on ahead to your friend's house. I'm about to have an exclusive party while you are gone where I am the only guest. So, yeah. Now, be sure to check out this video here if you are struggling with the intrusive thoughts and want to know how to stop expecting the worst. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.